It sucks to be wrong about what you're...
Hello, Elijah.
But it's great to be wrong about Tinder.
No, that means a lot to me. So, I watched the video of the girl calling for a wellness check on Nick Harris today, and they refused to answer the door. Did you see that, Claire? So if you're here from the Nick Harris world, from Nick verse, let me know. Let's discuss Nick Harris. Where are you at? I know some of you exist. Where are you? Hi, Skate. Thank you. Lori! Well, I was going to discuss that with you. I was hoping that Mariah was going to stop in. You seen the video? Okay, cool. Roll call! Nick Harris friends, where are you? If you're a part of the Nick Harris world, report for duty. One second. Yeah. Shelly! I'm gonna play the video. If you're here from the Nick Harris world, I seen the video of Pat talking about Nick. Ooh. Hi, Jordan, baby. You know what this is? I think you know. All right, so what do I look up to find that video? I just got it sent to my main profile, but I can't access my main profile right now. Nick Harris wellness check. I wanted to show you all the video of the wellness check that was done today. Can someone send it to Jessica Diamond 2? The number 2? So I'm going to show it to y'all. I can't fucking find that in here. Graceland. Well. Yes. Turn off the mic. Oh. Is it too loud? Damn, she just let me fucking have it. Well, let's get in boxes. Let's do a box check. Y'all make sure your cameras are off, whoever comes up. Make sure your cameras are off. Just to be safe.
Hello.
Hi, baby.
Hello.
We're about to discuss some Nick Harris fucking topics in this motherfucker.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
I'm trying to get the video to play for you guys. 1 second. Second. Some of these
Hi,
videos
everyone.
on TikTok are funny as fuck.
Hi.
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 Ellie. Hi, Dust.
Hi.
Claire.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I was gonna say Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Timu Tony Stark.
Was that Dusty talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's early.
He speaks.
All right, so there's a video today. This girl calls for a wellness check for Nick Harris. in the video, she calls and says what's going on, and they promise to go do a wellness check. Well, she called back later. The police answer, and she's like, "Did y'all do a wellness check?" And they said they went to the door and they knocked and knocked and knocked, and no one answered. So they're not answering the door. And then the latest update I got was, I want to quote this. I want to say it right. 1 second. And then the latest update, I quote this. I want to say it right. 1 second. Okay, this is the exact quote. Nick Harris said that he is no longer participating in anything to do with going live or updates. He's not making them any more money. Did I say that right? Let me check. Hold on. Yeah, he just said he's not doing nothing, no camera, no stuff. He's not making them any more money. Did you hear that, Claire?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. You can come right back around to me. I'm just gonna get my drink and I don't want to be loud. Last
Okay.
time you muted me, I had my fridge open and I was beeping a bunch. So just pop around back to me in a second.
Okay.
I don't see that as a bad thing. I think that's good that he doesn't want to be a cash cow for them, but I think that he needs to check in with someone at least and let him know that he's okay.
Yeah, so the issue is that the first update was this. Here, hold on.
Worried about Nick. He hasn't responded to those of us close to him. Well, Nick can't really communicate with anyone because, he's in the program. He'll get his phone eventually in the next, he has to finish some step work and he'll definitely get right back to you. You have no reason to worry about him. He's worried about himself right now so he could be the best version of himself to be able to hang out with all of us, Yeah, he's doing great.
So if that's what they just said yesterday, and then we were told that he got his phone back last week and was going to call me, and that he was excited to call me because of the situation that happened with Cindy in my chat, in the videos and the boxes, and we knew he got his phone privileges back that next day. So kind of it's all. I think what we're putting out is that something's off, and then Nick is now saying he doesn't want his phone privileges, and then now he's saying that he's not going to be going live anymore, so they can't make any more content. So no phone, no lives, absolutely no communication with anyone from him. We've not seen him. Something seems a little off.
Yeah, that's shady. I mean, if it's actually him saying that he doesn't want to make them any more money, that's fine. But it is shady that, he wants his phone, he can't have his phone, or he's getting his phone. Like the whole situation's sketchy. That whole place is sketchy.
So now if this all made sense, if this all was aligning, so for example, say Mason's on the phone with me, he tells me what's going on. Look, I really am about to repeat what Mason said to me exactly, which I should not do it. I'm trying not to do it, but he's supposed to get his phone back the next day, and he was going to call, and then all of a sudden now he's going ghost. He's not going to be going live. He's not making them any money. So when I told the Nick on the phone, I said, do not give them any more content. Whatever you do, if they piss you off, do not give them content. And so now the response is that he's not going to be going live anymore to give them no content.
I see.
The
what you're
math has
saying.
the math.
I see that I can see that point of view. I think it's also difficult being the fact that Pat's now back and in front of the social and closer to socials, inching his way into that area. So I
Who let that person up? Who could let people up? I can't do a box chat to build this up. I have to get likes up first. If I do boxes right now, it'll kill it. I did? Did I really click that button? Were they up there the whole time? Because I was playing a video looking down at my fucking phone. Oh my god, somehow I clicked the button and let someone up there. I didn't even know who the fuck they were. I have no clue who it was. I didn't get a chance to block them. Well, that was entertaining. The name was S-I-N. Okay, if you see it. Mariah! Mariah, thank you for coming in. I was just talking about the update we got a little bit today. Okay, I must have hit it without it. I'm screaming too, Mariah. Y'all, let's get the likes up as fast as we can so we can do boxes. We'll start boxes off right away. I don't know how much time Mariah has, Mariah, but I would love for you to come up and just talk for a second. I can do most talking. You don't have to confirm nothing or say anything. But if you don't want to, I respect it. But I do think that, like, the point that I want to make today was I think Nick's trying to get a message out to us by him saying that he doesn't want to hold on, I'll talk about it in a minute. Welcome in, everyone. Please tap the screen. Let's get these likes up and we'll finish talking. I love it. That was crazy, Dusty. Ah! Who the fuck was that person? Wow. Has Nick's mom? If Mariah comes up, I will let her speak about Nick's mom a little bit. I don't think I should, out of respect for him being, because I'm just a friend. And I feel like that's, mom talk is very personal. So I don't want to, like, what I know is that they did talk whenever he first got there. I don't speak to his mom. Yeah, but I think you knew, like, I knew that he called her to get, like, it was on a live. He was talking to his mom. And then I remember Mason talked about it to me in a box that was part of his, like, can you go live with Kimmy? I'm going to do boxes for a second. Is it true he's leaving social media? That's what we were told today. Yeah, for his birth certificate. That's what it was, Nat. Thank you. It was in a live. So I do know he talked to his mom. I do know that they are on decent terms. I don't think that, like, from what I've... in my investigation of the situation, it hasn't been like they don't have the best relationship ever, but they have some type of relationship. Yeah, that's what but I don't want to, like, to me, like, for example, with my mom, if something happened to me, I would not want no one to talk about my mom in any kind of way. I'd want that to be like a protected, safe place. So I do know, I will say family. I don't want to say about his mom. But I do know that he had communication with his family. And then that involves some other people that he has communicated with. Like, I know Mariah confirmed that he spoke to one friend. I think his name's Evan or Ian. Hi, Michaela. Yeah, the mom thing, like for example, Mariah, I would never speak about her parents. Like, she shared me that her parents is who she's staying with things like right now. But when it comes to me, I don't want to speak on something that's not her story. The parent thing is very personal to me. All right, make sure your cameras are off.
Don't bring anybody up that you don't know, Jessica.
I don't think I did that.
You're the only one
that
that
honestly,
can.
I swear to God.
None of the mods have control to do that.
Oh yeah, boy.
Hold on, I'm trying to fucking invite Shelly. I keep hitting the button.
Oh, were you gonna get Mariah, or is she not available?
That's up to her. I think this topic
Oh,
is...
okay.
I asked her to come up, and we spoke about it for a second. I would love it if she came up for a second just to speak about how she feels and what she's been reading and seeing. But if she doesn't want to, I have to respect like her boundary, because I think a part of this is they don't want Mariah.
Sure, I agree with
Mariah,
you.
can I? Like, I think they don't want her talking to him. I think that's a part of it. Or they don't want her
She has
talking
to
to
go
him or
back
him
to work.
talking to her. What?
She has to go back to work. She just messaged you.
Oh, I
Oh,
see.
okay,
Okay.
I see that. I just wanted her to have the opportunity first before.
Well, if I ever say something wrong, she'll text me immediately wrong right away, and she'll tell me like what I can and can't say. But I do know that she's just like me. We both are sitting here like, wait a minute. Okay, connect the dots. So first, we were told that he was getting his phone privileges back. He was going to call us back right away. Then he lost his phone privileges when Pat came back. So like, let's put together the puzzle, like the of how this started. So I talked to Nick on the phone. Mariah was talking to him. Everything was peaceful. We kept reminding him he was in a good place. Everything was fine. Pat was coming back. He asked me a bunch of questions. He asked Mariah a bunch of questions. We answered them. We confirmed to him that we were watching and he was safe. Then everything goes black. Pat comes back. If my storyline's off, someone please correct me, Claire or Mariah or chat. So then I get a hold of Mason. I talk to Mason on the phone. Mason tells me that he understands what this whole Sydney situation, her being in the hospital, and that he would get the message to Nick. And then when he did, he told me that they responded and said they told Nick, and Nick would call me tomorrow when he got his phone privileges back. So I talked to Mariah. We're both excited. We did a live that night. We were both pumped up that he was gonna call us. And then fast forward, and then Nick never calls. And then the next update we got was that he wasn't going to be calling, because what was the reason? I forget the next reason.
Um, was it because he wanted to like when they were saying that like relinquishing it for his own mental health, like
That's it. Yeah, that's the next.
taking it away from himself, essentially?
Yes.
Is that where
Yeah,
you're
he
at?
he didn't want him. He wanted to focus on himself. He was going to do a mental health check.
You
Then
guys are
the
the best information that like I'm getting, by the way. So like I don't have ever since
thank you.
Mason stuff, I like since then you're like I don't have a lot to like add to it besides speculative stuff. So I'm just gonna I just want to throw that out there before we go
No,
into
you're good.
detail.
And it's all allegedly. We're all just speaking allegedly. We're just putting together a timeline of what Mariah, myself, the family on Nick's side. So I'm speaking about like Nick's side of the situation. I'm not talking about like something I've seen on TikTok or whatever like that. This is like me and Mariah having a
Private.
conversation. And so then the next thing after we get told that he is not taking his phone privileges back, which still puts a question mark about the home phone. So cool, he's not taking his cell phone back. We respect that. We all have said we don't think he should have his phone back. We get it. He should have his phone every now and then because the internet was his biggest problem, one of his biggest problems. So then we hear that he just doesn't want his phone back because now he's not giving them any content. That doesn't really add up. And then they knock on the door and no one answers to do a wellness check on Nick Harris.
I don't know how they would even gotten to the door.
They can't get to the door?
I don't know how they would have gotten there because whenever people were
Why?
delivering stuff, like everyone would have to go to the gate, like when
Oh,
they
I
get their
wondered that
stuff
too.
delivered.
Well, you heard the cop
So
today on the video, right?
yeah, which like at first made me think like, is this a prank? Because people have been like stitching together the wrong videos of like saying Nick was kicked out for having this and this,
Yeah.
but which was something super long ago that people are trying to attach to this Nick, and it's just not point blank period. It's not the same person, but people
Yeah.
are like that don't know as much are getting those wrapped into one. And then, yeah, so then I was like, well, maybe this is somebody using AI or something. Like I don't know, but I was like, that part to me was fishy because I'm like, how would you get to the door? Because nobody could even get their deliveries to the door. Like the cake that was delivered, all that stuff was all down at the end of their long driveway that Nick went and back and forth to pick to grab like the gifts and stuff. So I don't know that part that stood out to me, but otherwise, yeah, I I I don't know what to think of that call.
What do you think, Ashley? What do you think of Lori? What do you think of Shelly?
I think that's real sketchy myself, especially with the whole nobody answered the door. Well, and then you're talking about that it's a gated driveway. I mean, something's not right there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like that person wasn't that there isn't validity or whatever the case is, you know. Um, I just wonder if they told that person if the girl got I don't know. It all is confusing to me. I also don't know how this girl is connected. Like if anybody was going to be calling, I thought it would be Mariah or yourself, Jessica, or something like that. Because like most people know that well, like doing that most likely can cause more harm than you know than positives out of it, especially like depending on how they like bring the police to the situation. So I was like, who is this person and what did they have to do with it? But
Do we know who this person is that
I
called?
didn't. I didn't recognize. I mean, I've seen like you can see her in the video calling. There's like a 2 or 3 parter. I don't know if Jess, are you on her page? Like the actual page, she had like a follow up, and but like there was two prior to that where she's like, I'm going to be calling Nick, or I'm going to be calling Graceland or the police, and then the next one was I called them and they went to the gate, and then the next one, or I mean, and they knocked on the door, no answer, and then the next one was about now he's not going to be on social media for his own recover or by his own volition or whatever she said that the cop said.
What's her username on TikTok so I can look her up?
Oh, shoot. Hold on, let me get my other. I think it's baby girl, but it's spelled weird. I'm on my phone. My iPad is the same
Or
time.
share it to Jessica Diamond too if you can.
Okay, let me mute myself real quick.
Okay. I was gonna play the video for you guys, but I can't freaking find it because I can't log into my main account on my other device. So I'm stuck. So I apologize. Once I get the video, I'll play it for you guys so we can review it. Because I've never seen this girl before. I don't think Mariah's ever seen this girl before. I've never seen her ever being involved in anything to do with this topic or these topics or Nick. So I don't know where she came from. So it could be a trolling video. But even then, the guy that's from the house, his update yesterday about how Nick's doing step work and he don't know, or he's not going to get on his phone. That was kind of weird to me too.
Yeah, and saying that he was great.
Yeah, like show us then.
Right.
I apologize for all the.
Okay, can you hear? I think I just added your second account, and then I just sent her user. her page to you. I think her at is like it's me dot dimples.
I got it. Here we go.
Guys, for those of you that are requesting an update on Nick at Graceland Ranch, here's the outcome of the updates. So Nick has decided to keep his journey private now, which is very odd. But he has decided that, and he's very alive and well. So anyone that is subscribed like me, I have unsubscribed. And you can also dispute the charges on your card. So feel free to do that because we will no longer see Nick on lives or any other update from what the officer told me that Nick told him. We will no longer see him on Graceland Ranch page. So no, Nick did not get kicked out for having schmecks with a couple residents a few weeks ago.
False.
So this is the outcomes of the updates. Thanks, y'all. Hey guys, for those of you.
All right, there's another video
Scroll
with a
back.
wellness
Yeah, there's
check
like
in
two. Yeah, scroll like two back maybe.
Hey guys, for those of you that are requesting an update on Nick at Graceland Ranch.
Is this the first one or
the
second one?
outcome of the updates.
No, this will be
Okay,
before.
guys, I have an update on the welfare check I made this morning for Nick Harris at the Graceland Ranch.
Oh no, wait, there's one before that.
This is me calling back
Another one before
to
that.
check on.
She's like in a car.
All right, guys, I'm going to take it upon
There you
myself today to go ahead and make a welfare check to check on Nick.
That's the name.
I'm going to call the police here in about 3 minutes whenever I'm done with this video and after I post it. And I'm checking on Nick because something's going on and they're not telling us what's going on. They're not being real because either he's left or they're alienating him from his family and his friends that he checks in with on the 1st and 15th of the month. I think they're alienating him. There's proof out there that they've been alienating other people from their parents and actually texting their parents off of their phone. Madison has been doing it. Texting their parents off their phone, acting like this.
Did he get muted on TikTok? Hold on. It just stopped.
All right, guys. And I'm going to have them make a welfare check on Nick and see what's going on. Because this isn't right. They told him he could check his analytics and check in with his people on the 1st and 15th of the month, and he's not doing that anymore. They're saying he just doesn't want to contact these people. His mom would like to hear from him. She's worried. Don't lie, Madison or Pat or any of you motherfuckers at the ranch, because I'm getting tired of this shit. Something is wrong. You had all these people subscribed so they could check on Nick, and now you're not even going live anymore. Nick isn't allowed to check in with his people anymore. What's really going on here?
Why is she getting tired of it though?
Well, like, I talked to Mariah. Mariah doesn't know this person. I don't know this person.
Right.
Have you ever, anybody in the chat from that world, have you ever heard, Dean, I love you? Oh my God, I love Dean. But yeah, so that's the first video. This is the second video.
Okay, guys, I have an update on the welfare check I made this morning for Nick Harris at the Graceland Ranch. This is me calling back to check on the call I made this morning. Yes, I called this morning to get a welfare check done, and no one's called me back, so I didn't know what was going on.
Okay, we don't usually do callbacks. You have to call back to check on that. What's the address that we went to?
1 second, let me pull it up real quick. K-A-N.
There was no answer at the door knock that they conducted there.
Okay. All right. Do they ever go back and check again, or do they just leave it be?
No, that would have to be a separate
so sad. They won't even answer the door. Like, what do we do? They are literally violating his First Amendment. Literally. If y'all hear anything, keep me in the loop.
That was
Hey
the last
guys, for
one.
those of you that are requesting
So again, we don't know her. Mariah doesn't know her. We haven't never heard of her. I'm not saying that she's not genuine. I'm not saying that she's not like factual or doesn't have whatever, but we just don't know where that's coming from. But also, like, Ashley Ray was friends with Aaron Carter or was involved in that world, and this happened a lot with him getting like welfare checks. Ashley, do they go back ever, or do they not go back at all?
Sorry, I'm in the shower. No, they typically wouldn't go back. They wouldn't go back.
Was
I
he
mean,
to
there were
call again
so
and call
many.
again?
Even if people called again, I mean, if other calls were made, they would go back. But eventually, I think they just either people gave up or they just stopped.
Well,
But
they
we never
also have
heard
connections
anything.
with the department. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted. That was bad.
No, you're fine. You're
They
fine.
have connections with them.
I know that when they got the call, like, what was it, like Thanksgiving era or like time frame or something, like they have like contact with some of the detectives, like so that they don't scare, like to talk to the oh my God, I can't speak. If they are getting a bunch of calls like that, that they can then investigate who and why and what is happening, if they're trolls, if it's this, that, or the third. I
Really
remember
quick,
hearing.
Mariah, you're in the chat. Can you confirm that this girl that I put in the box just now is? You said you were one of Nick's mods.
Yeah, hi, I'm GenZ or GenZ 55. I used
Okay.
to be one of Nick's mods, and then when he moved over to Mariah's live, I was one of his mods too. And
So Mariah would recognize you.
I think
Okay,
so.
she said yes. I know her. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
I just had someone come up and show their freaking chest, so I don't want that to happen again. And I recognize you
No,
from before, but I didn't want to like make a mistake with TikTok. So that's all.
no problem.
So after
Also,
you observe what we
there's
just talked
someone in
about,
the
how do you,
chat also that says that my two brothers know about her, Little Skies. I was wondering if they can get
about
up
her?
also, like the girl, not. I'm sorry, not the mod, not
Okay.
Gen Z, but about the one making the phone calls. So
All right.
maybe
I'm gonna
they have
drop
intel.
Dusty. I'm gonna drop you for 1 second.
That's fine.
Okay. Who's the person?
Lil Skies, they just added me saying my two brothers know about her because I said about, like, they
Okay, I don't know
recognize her.
him.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Just wanted to say that before I forgot, before I go back on mute,
Yeah, my
in case
account is
not
banned from
tried.
going live. Okay. Well, I don't know if it's true or not, so I don't know the person. So, but it's still good to have someone here that knows a little bit. But Mariah, also you can text me if you have anything you want to add. In case I say something or you want me to add something that like you're saying, or you can say it in the chat. But I just know for me, I think my speculative thought process is they're trying to make it where him and Mariah stop talking. One of his first amends he wanted to make was with Mariah, and they were talking and everything was super fine. Mason and everybody knew they were talking in the amends part. What we don't know is if like maybe they don't want him to communicate with her. That could be one of the speculative thoughts. We don't know if that's true or not. But from what we do know, Mariah, was super supportive. They had a really great conversation. They never argued, and it was more of a support. And then when he called me, exact same thing. It was very support. It was like, please tell me I'm going to be okay. Please tell me you're watching the live. Please make sure you're checking on us and checking on me. And he made sure I got really close with Mason to make sure that me and Mason would communicate in case there was something else happening. Now Mason's kind of not there in the exact house, so we're a little bit nervous on that. Hold on. Before my brother split up ways. Who is he talking about? The girl that was in the video?
Yeah, I'm like so distracted because I'm trying to. My ADD is like on edge. Like they're confusing me. My brothers
But yes,
recognize her from the other live streams. Like the girl that has the
is he talking
video
about this
posted.
person?
They had messaged me before this. I'm not sure what. Yeah, she's. It sounds like they're talking about the girl that's making the videos. That they
Okay.
the brothers know her. They used to be friends with her. but I don't know. They had messaged me before they
Oh.
split ways. I don't. But like, what's she from, or how, like, is she like a streamer? That's like what I'm wondering, because it did seem like she was like somebody that was wanting follow or like was trying to be on the platform, you know.
And she turned her comments off.
Or I saw that it was limited of some sort.
Ghostland, Ghost said Jessica Nick has been removed. We don't know if that's true or not. And Mason is in the other house and saying that's not true, so I don't know if it's true. And I think if you're talking about him being removed, it's because that video where Pat says we removed Nick because of the 3 girls. That's an old video from like 2023.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing. Why did Jen drop? I was going to ask her opinion.
Oh, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't see you. Okay, hey.
Yeah, I didn't want to like interrupt. I was just saying I've never, as far as I know, I've never seen her. And like, I was watching that live when you were sitting up with Nick. I was there for a lot of nights that were like wild because I don't know. I feel like, you know, I never met the kid, but like he seems like a sweetheart, and I never wanted anything bad to happen to him. So I used to watch all the time, and you know, we just got close. You know, like just being on live together, all of us. And I've never once seen her before. I've never seen her reach out caring for him or asking about him or anything like that. And I don't know. It just doesn't seem genuine that this is coming up now when he's not able to speak up for himself and say, I know or don't know this person, you know.
I like your accent, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Unbothered, hey. Like we all kind of know, like Nick enough to know, like he would definitely be calling Mariah, calling his mom, calling someone. The fact that he's not calling anybody, I don't care what kind of step work you're on, it doesn't really add up a little bit. Something's off. Sezz. Hold on. Let's see if I can get her up here.
Where their comments on her
Sezz.
videos. She had the comments limited last time I checked. The comments were like limited, and I'm definitely not saying that she didn't call. I'm just saying I don't know who.
President's term.
I've never heard of her. Kind of deal with.
So since we were talking about, hi beautiful.
How are you?
We were talking about this video of that girl today, and I'm going over like this whole situation.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know who she is.
None of us
she's
have ever
calling
seen her
for a welfare check. Yeah, is she saying she knows Nick?
I think she's saying that she cares about him, like she's a fan or she's a friend. I don't think she ever used the words that she knew him or that she knows him. I think she's more like a fan.
Have you still not heard from him?
No, so the me and Mariah talk every day, and Mariah still has heard nothing. And going off the first video from the guy from the house, he said that Nick is giving up all his rights to a phone because he's working on his step work. And that is very not Nick at all, and doesn't go along with none of the conversations that Mariah has had with him prior, and none that I've had with him prior. So that doesn't kind of like add up. It doesn't follow. And also, like, yes, he doesn't have a cell phone, but that doesn't mean he can use the home phone.
The home phone, yeah. It's weird to me because we were even talking about it the other night that I just can't imagine him not wanting to speak to Mariah. Like, maybe no one else, I get that, but Mariah for sure. It doesn't make any sense.
To
maybe
me, it
block
almost
your ears,
feels like
Claire, because I'm about to
What?
say something you might not want to hear.
Wait, what?
You might want to block your ears.
Block my ears.
It's nothing against you, but to me, and you know where I stand with Graceland, I think they're isolating him, and I think that's very concerning. I don't know. I'm not at Graceland. I don't work there. All the rest, this is my opinion only. It sounds like they're isolating him, and that's concerning.
So I will tell you, and I probably should not say this, but I'm going to say it because at this point I'm concerned. hold on, maybe he doesn't want to talk to anyone. Oh, Bryce, it's so good to
Well,
see
it's
you.
not LOL, Bryce. I mean, Mariah's worried about him.
What I
Well, he
was
was
thinking
also, he was, go ahead.
just that like if I just feel like if I was recovering, and I know that like I'm on the other side, and I like
Mm-hmm.
want to give the benefit of the doubt here and be like, hey, maybe it's best that like I'm not talking to the people that I did things with prior, and like I
Yeah,
do
so
like
we were
actually
okay with the
step
fact that
away.
we understand why him not talking to Mariah. We get it.
Okay,
There could be so Mariah has thought, and we both have thought,
gotcha.
maybe the amends part where he called, because a part of his step work is that he wanted to make amends with her. So when he first talked to her, the first phone call, she stated that she was very shocked that the phone call happened because she did not expect him to call, especially that kind of soon. When he called, he was like, he basically was like, I just want to ask for forgiveness and I want to apologize. And he took accountability for things that he did and things that he said. And so that conversation kind of like led into and started a chapter of them being friends. They never discussed like dating or getting back together. Mariah never implied that, like that she had a place for him to live or a car even at that moment. She was just like, let's just make sure that you're okay. That's the main priority. And I forgive you and you forgive me. And they both kind of just made amends. And Mariah's here, so if I say something out of context, she can correct me in the chat. And I'm
Hey,
just speaking
Mariah.
based on her like talking to me and our relationship. So their conversations have been friendship based. Like same with like mine and his. He's is never they didn't cross any boundaries, and most of the time somebody was there. If you talk to Nick on the phone, typically 90% of the time someone's around him. For a second, he can escape and back away and try to whisper something, but like most of the time, someone's bumping into him, someone's asking him a question. He's never can have like a full one-on-one conversation. And again, Mariah can confirm or deny whatever I'm saying in the chat. She's here, and what I'm saying I know is factual based on our conversation. So, with that being said, based on my last phone call and her last phone call, he kept saying, please tell me I'm okay. And I said, I'm 100% telling you that you're okay. Like, I'm watching every day. I can tell you there, I mentioned, I said, there's this girl named Summer. She's watching your lives every single day, playing the lives. There's a girl named Evil Teapot. She's playing every day. I said, Mariah's watching every day. I'm watching. We're all watching. You're safe as far as that part. And if we notice that you're not safe, we will tell you. Now, that was right before Pat came in when I spoke to him. So I was telling him if Pat comes in and tries to get you to sign a contract or like that, then hold on. Now Sezz cares about Nick after talking crap about him every 3 months. Bryce, I wanted to say something to you. So I was told that you were sent to go after Summer as a ploy to like kind of like protect Pat. Is there any truth to that? Was you actually interested in Summer? Was you all actually friends, or was you just doing that to like get information or to protect Pat? And that was said to me by somebody very close in your all circle. Yeah, we all realize how crazy that sounds. Do you understand? Everybody in the chat, you all agree that sounds crazy?
Not that crazy to me, really.
Wait, that what part of it's crazy? That he was sent by Pat?
Yeah, so what I understand from what I was told, and I'm not confirming who told me. I don't know I don't know who he
I
thinks
see.
told me, but I was told that whenever this all was happening, and not Bryce, Pat was about to go away. Pat put together a little plan, and Bryce was to go and monitor and then be a part of Summer's lives to help create and carry the narrative in a certain direction. So I was just wondering if Bryce was actually interested in her, or was it like a setup?
Did you invite him up to talk or no? Or did we get muted? Oh, we're in timeout. I remember these days. In past life, we got put out in timeout so much.
I had to mute because my
I just
dogs were
find it, I
barking.
don't know, I find it so weird because it's like You know, like it's corny, but like the truth doesn't need defending. Why is it that anytime somebody talks about this organization, somebody from that side swoops in and starts like pecking at the other side? And I don't understand. Like if it's nonsense, why even entertain it? You know, like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, if we're crazy, we're just crazy, then let us just be crazy and make fools of ourselves.
Did Bryce respond? I don't see a response.
Wait, so then do you want him to address it or do you not?
What?
If like if they're saying, maybe I misunderstood that statement that she made. But she's saying if people
I think
coming
she's
in from
talking
that
not just
side.
about Bryce. I think that's just in
Oh,
general. Like whenever
okay.
they're spoken about, you know, someone
Yeah,
pops in.
yeah.
And
Like
I get
I've
I
seen
get the
like
defending
anytime.
yourself. Yeah.
So again, my question was for Bryce. I just want to ask him, like, was he genuinely interested in Summer, or was he sent there to talk to Summer to protect Pat? And why would that narrative, or why would that statement be coming from someone that's inside that house or that situation? So you're interested in Summer, okay? So nothing. You've never sent Pat or anyone any details from Summer to where maybe she's now getting doxxed, where she has to leave the internet.
Yeah, Pat?
I don't know what details. I don't know how far she was hacked or not hacked, but I don't know like what all happened with her. Her message she sent me was that she has to leave the internet because she was being doxxed and all kinds of things were happening to her. Or, but how do you know it's evil? How do you know it's evil when
No,
it
that's
might
not
have
true,
been?
Bryce.
But it might have been Bryce, is what I'm trying to get at. And that came again. My source is someone that is involved in that house. So why would they say I need to watch out for Bryce? And then also I was told not to ever speak about Madison. Do not bring up Madison. Don't talk about her. Be very careful. And I have been so careful. But like, if this is now happening where we can't even hear from him, and if he called me and said, "Hey, I'm good, back off, like we're cool," I would be like, "Fuck yes, got you. I'm be watching from the outside." If he told Mariah, like, "Hey, listen, I'm good. Let my mom, the family know. Everybody, I'll call you guys in a couple of weeks. Everything's fine." Then where we would all shut up, it would be a drop topic. I only know her phone number. Okay, I just didn't know. I'm just asking. I'm not accusing you of nothing. I'm asking you, and again, allegedly. That's all I'm saying. Summer left because the Marine. What?
Oh my
Do you
god.
remember? Do you remember?
So lost.
Do you remember Jeff? Just before Nick was on the bus to Maine to meet that guy Jeff before the
Yes,
Graceland
the
thing
older guy.
happened.
Yes,
Yeah,
yep.
that's who they're talking about, Marine Jeff.
They did do a wellness check, apparently based on this girl that posted. And again, Mariah, myself, the family, none of us. I don't think Sus, Jenny, we're all from the Nick world, and none of us have ever seen that girl before. So she could be like for
Before you
real,
finish
or
that about her, I was scrolling her page like 4 years ago. She was posting about Pat. So I don't think
Oh,
okay.
now that so that makes me think she follows Pat's side, not Nick's side originally. And that's how she found it. Because 4 years ago she made a post about Pat. Like I scrolled down on her video when you had me look just now. It's like 4 years ago she's making like critiques on Pat, FYI. So that might be where it's from.
Bryce said maybe he doesn't want to talk to you. That's cool. If you don't talk to me, I'm fine with that. But there still has to be an explanation to why the family, Mariah, and no one else has heard from him. That's my only statement. And then again, the timeline. Um, you're so crazy. Now you're trolling.
yeah. Bryce thinks everything is a joke. Is Mariah in contact with Nick's mum?
She wrote in the comments earlier that she does not have any contact or communication with the
Yeah.
mom.
Okay.
But I do know that the mom and Mariah know each other. And I do know that, like, if Mariah needed to, she could contact her, or I know the mom could contact Mariah. They know of each other. They know they're very connected.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Let me know if I'm like way off base, but I just find it so strange that Nick's addiction was social media and his phone was taken from him, right? So why is Patrick coming back from less time that he's spent in treatment for the same reason and getting back on lives and posting and being the face again? I just don't see how that's like the same across the board. What's the difference there? Why would he not be able to at least contact his family members or, get on the phone? It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's we're with you. And I'm reading the comments, you guys. So everything that you're saying in the comments, I think everyone's here reading. So don't think you're being ignored or not being heard. I'm seeing. Pat doesn't even have a phone.
Yeah, I haven't even like he when he was on his live on Friday or whatever, like I'm pretty sure he saw like a display of a gift come across the screen and stuff, but like he's not directly talking to people. So, but I mean, I'm just saying that's from my
He's
observations.
not in a rehab, you guys. He's in a sober living. And some people do get their phones after 60 days, some don't, based on the situation. The last time we heard from him, I think, if my facts are correct, you could come in a box if you want. We're just having a conversation. We're just basically
Again,
like,
Dizzy, I was invited.
yes. You're welcome to come up as well. Bryce can come up as well. The main point is I'm having a respectful conversation. Again, it's some of us are just speculating, and a lot of it is alleged. We also played the videos of the girl talking about how she did a wellness check. We played all three. So we're just kind of going through. Good evening, everyone. But yeah, so that was the conversation. I think Mariah and I kind of think that maybe it could be possibly that they don't want him talking to Mariah, which is okay. We get it. If that's what it is, then we're accepting it kind of, and she's okay with it. And hopefully he calls soon. But that still doesn't explain like no communication with anyone else on the outside world, no mom, no one else. That's crazy. Do I want to check on someone who I don't know who the girl is that doesn't want to check. So
I agree that it's suspect of that person's intentions for sure. I mean, not just like I said, they could still be a worried, just TikTok innocent person, but yeah, I just really would have thought it would have been off of directions from you or Mariah or family, like mom, whatever the case.
Oh, people in the Nickverse are wild. Like I wouldn't personally ever do it myself. I'd more likely reach out to like someone that's in contact with him if I was that concerned. And everyone knows where I stand with Nick, but he's still a human being. And I said this on the live the other night. He's still a human being, still a person. And, I have a lot of respect for Mariah and Jessica, and it's more that they can't speak to him. And I know maybe not you, even you, Jessica, you're not family. Mariah is his, for 3-something years, I think, has been his person. And either way, they've been through a lot together.
And I thought that a big part of his recovery was making amends with her. So we accept and are okay with the fact that he might not call any of us. But based on the conversations we had leading up to today, I feel like Nick would have, after just asking for Mariah to forgive him and taking ownership of what he done and what she's done, and they were having some really great conversations, and they were going to cut her off completely. I feel like based on knowing Nick and his paranoia a little bit and his discomfort, he would call Mariah and say, "Hey, listen, I'm taking a break from the phones. Don't freak out. It's okay."
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is Nick was so insecure about his situation and his livelihood a simple phone call would make so much sense based on his character, his flawed character, his imperfections, all based with Mariah. So that's why Mariah is kind of left puzzled. And Heather, I do agree that sober living sometimes being sober might mean you cut the outside world off, but I feel like out of respect from the situation with Mariah, and after, like, does that make sense to anybody that's in recovery? Like, it's here.
Oh, I
maybe
totally
like,
get it. It's a big, for some people, it's a big part of recovery is removing themselves from the people that they were with before, because they're not necessarily friends, right? So the people that often when you're in addiction, they're people that you use with, they're not actually friends. And so a big part of recovery is often realizing that and then actually removing yourself from those relationships, because it's not going to end well.
and then asking someone for forgiveness and then building that trust back up to being like, are you okay? I care about you, and I really made mistakes, and I just really want your forgiveness. I can't get better without this part. And if you can't forgive me, I'm okay with it. It's kind of like how I guess that part of the journey goes in recovery. But to go that far to get someone to be okay with you, to talk to you, and then out of nowhere, after you tell them, like, hey, Pat's coming back, I'm a little nervous, please tell me I'm going to be okay. And then now, from that conversation, we are now completely ghosted. So if that's what happened, and wouldn't that do more damage to the relationship that they just kind of fixed? It would be backpedaling on asking for amends.
Well, I feel like if
I feel
his
like he
plan
made
was
amends super early. Oh, sorry.
yeah, that is usually something that's done much later. But I feel like if that was his plan, right, when he made amends with Mariah, or, whatever it was that he did, wouldn't he have also said to her, and I'm going to reduce the amount, or I'm just, at the moment, my choice is just to focus on my recovery. So you're not going to hear from me as often. I just feel like he would have given her the heads up. But
all right,
I don't know Nick
personally.
That's fair.
So,
Shelly or Lori, can I drop one of you two for
drop
just one?
me out. That's fine. Go ahead.
Will you stay though, Shelly?
Yeah, I'll stay.
Okay.
But just drop me out so you can bring Bryce
All right.
in.
Yeah, I agree too.
All right.
And I think the timing of it is just odd.
If I bring
Also, but like,
Bryce
he has
up,
the ability to leave, and
Yeah.
y'all told him he has the resources if he felt like that he would be able to have support on the other side. So, like, regardless, we do know he's there, and if he was like that scared, you probably would have heard from him.
so the amends part, I think whenever he first got there, he was so unsettled. I think he felt so uncomfortable and he felt so scared because Pat left. So kind of put this in a situation. So like, he just arrives, he gets comfortable for a second. A part of his like getting comfortable, I think he asked, I don't know if it's exactly step work, but I know that he needed to call Mariah, and he kept begging for that right and to do it, and they finally let him call her. And it was around the same time that he called his mom. So it might not be exactly step work. What?
Can I tell you a little bit about that? So
yeah, but Bryce, I don't know you. I've never talked to you before.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm going to be respectful.
Will you be okay?
Yeah, I promise I will. So you got to think about it too. So whenever somebody gets like sober or they come out of like a toxic situation, I mean, the first thing you're going to want to do is apologize, right? I mean, that's what everybody does. But how many times have we said like, I'm sorry, or, for the same thing? So that's why making amends in AA, it's a later step. It's step 9. So it's one of the later ones, is because you're supposed
So why
to.
would they let? Okay, so Mariah was a big part of the dysfunction and the tornado storm of the Nick and Mariah story. So he leaves. We all watch the whole story. He then arrives there, and then whoever's running the house. So say for example, it's you could pick 4 names or 3 names, whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
They let him call Mariah, and he asked for forgiveness. He took accountability in the phone call for things that he did. They know that she's a big part of like his addiction and his bad behaviors and also the good things, and he brings great comfort. So they allowed that step to happen for him to call her, and then he called her several more times after that, and they also allowed him to call me. So why now change it because Pat got back and now he's enforcing that new rule?
Well, we don't know that's what happened.
I'm asking. What part?
Yeah. We don't know that anybody is stopping him from calling anybody.
I didn't say he was stopped. That's not what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Then I'm a little confused with that.
Did I say that?
Wait, what was the last statement you said?
Me?
Yeah.
You just asked why. Just asked why he's not.
Oh.
Didn't say he was being stopped. Just asked why.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's a question that he's probably the only one who knows. But it's like, I don't know. I don't even know what they said. Like, so he hasn't talked to his mom, to you, or to Mariah?
So the last time, right before Pat came back, here's Mariah. We spoke daily, and now nothing is my only concern.
Yeah.
So like they were Mason. So I'm gonna use Mason as the main person. This is an example. This is alleged. This is just me giving a example. So say he was letting Nick call Mariah every day. He was letting Nick call me. He was letting Nick call his mom about the birth certificate situation. Say Mason was a big part of his journey of getting better and getting comfortable and feeling safe there. Now Pat comes back, and then Mariah, myself, everyone is cut off. We hear nothing. So that's kind of where I think we're all setting. And then out of nowhere, the guy is now live on Graceland's account, and he's saying Nick doesn't want his phones right now, which we know the cell phone is how he gets on TikTok. We get that. We don't want him to have that. We're cool with him not having his cell phone all the time, but he has a home phone that he was calling on. So my only question that I'm stuck with is why would he not then call Mariah after just fixing the damage and say, hey, I'm not going to use my phone for a while. I'm not going to use the house phone. I'm okay. If I need you, I will call you. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. And again, they never talked about dating. They never talked about being together. It was a friendship-based conversation about just knowing that someone was there to protect him. Same with me when he called me. So go ahead.
I mean, that's how I think that it would need to happen, right? Too. I think that if he plans on not speaking to anybody for a little bit, that should be the way that it is gone about. Like, hey, I'm going to take a break from talking to anybody. I can agree with that.
So that's kind of where I set, and that's where Mariah sets, is that, this was, and so I do think this is an idea in my head. I think that, like, for example, Mason recorded him live talking about something. We all watched that video. We've seen how it goes down. Mason also then ordered the pizza and did whatever he did. I think when Pat came back, something happened where Mason got in trouble or suspended or something happened. He's still working at the house that records, but he can't go to Graceland and can't talk to the people that live in the house. So I think something happened where Mason was his like main person, and then now Mason's gone. So now there's a major shift on who he can trust and who he can align with, who his safe person is. So maybe with Mason now being gone, someone's telling him, cut off all communication with the outside world. Let's focus on recovery, getting better. They will understand, ask for forgiveness later. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then, of course, Mariah and I both were thinking maybe like we have to just be okay with the fact that he's not calling. Let's keep focusing on our lives. Let's just keep praying that everything's okay. Let's keep checking in the groups. I believe that Evil Teapot is probably one of the most fucking geniuses people in the world. She might be toxic. She might have some bad past. She might be able to do some crazy things. But what I noticed about her when I learned about her is that she's a factual girl. She will hit you with facts like you'll never believe. No one can discredit how genius this girl is. And so I believe having these people like myself, Mariah, and Evil, for example, we're going to find out what's going on.
I mean, well, what do you think their intentions are? Because you have to remember these people sat around for like 3 months talking shit about Nick every day.
Yes, and
So do you think they actually care about Nick, or
I don't think that like Sus, um, Evil, Summer. I don't think any of those people were fans of Nick. They all have said something negative about him. They all have commented, and I have even said that I'm friends with Nick, and I understand his past. I don't agree with it. I don't. I don't ever say like what he did was great, but I do think even if you don't like someone, if you report on facts, I do believe that somewhere, somehow, Evil, if she hears or finds out something, she's going to report on the facts of the situation. In humanity, on human people, like take the Nick name out of it, take Nick's character out of it, but he's still a human. I think that she would report on that. And that's just what I have gathered for her speaking about other people that are there. So
well,
I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, they've said Nick does not deserve help because of the things he's done in his
Bryce,
past.
that's not actually
So
true.
that's very true.
No, it's not, Bryce. In fact,
Well,
your
even if
girlfriend said that, but we didn't.
Yes, you did.
No.
I'm reading you, Heather. I read everything y'all said. Bryce, again, I'm not saying what they said is was ever Team Nick. So I am very aware, and I've sat in rooms. Mariah has sat in their lives almost every single night. We know, and they have made it very clear they're not his fans, but they are. Like Summer had fucking 200 and something subscribers, but she still didn't like it, but she kept reporting on him. She came to my live to get information, and then she'd report it as breaking news, new information. So people who don't like him, they were all majorly benefiting off his back.
Yeah.
Especially Summer was hardcore, which I disagree with, but I don't have a problem with her. I get what she was doing and how important that part was for us. And same with Evil. So even though they don't like him, they still were respectful to me. They still have been respectful to Mariah. And I do think that when it comes to humanity and like someone being in danger or something bad happening, I do think that she would report it. That's my point.
Yeah. I mean, Nick's not like, he's not in any kind of danger. He's in like the best situation he's been in a long time, you know?
I'm praying. I hope so.
Yeah.
I trust in you. And like, have you talked to Pat recently?
Yeah.
So have you seen Nick visibly human with your eyes? Like, seen him?
I haven't, but I haven't been over to Graceland in a little while.
So why can't you just go over there and say, hey, everybody's worried about you, your mom, your Mariah, Jessica, your main people. Can I just tell him that you're okay and then let us know that he's fine? That would be great. We'll all shut up.
Yeah, I mean, that is possibly something I could do.
But
I can reach out. I can reach out to somebody and be like, "Hey, they're a little worried about Nick. If you could just like reassure them."
After today, I feel like they will. They will need to.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, those are like you're raising like good concerns, you know?
My intentions are never to like, again, in this conversation, none of us has bashed Pat. None of us has bashed Graceland. None of us has bashed. That's never what I'm about. So like other lives might be that, but when it comes to me and how I communicate about him, I'm actually speaking about an actual friend, someone that I care about, someone that I streamed with, someone I talk to personally, and then also talking to Mariah. My concerns even going more because like this girl's out here busting her ass and doing so good, and then now she has the weight of worrying that what if he, so like speculative wise, so we're going to speculate for a second, what if he's not okay?
Well, see, I don't try to do that. I don't try to think of the what ifs or like make up all these stories in my head, and that would like kind of drive me crazy.
So you have a mom, you have a family members, right? You have a mom, you have a brother, somebody. Okay, so say Mariah really cares about this person. She loves him. She just went through fucking hell with him, right? So she like cares to the fullest, and now after they just got reconnected. Now he's completely cut off, and the response is that he's not talking to nobody. He wants no phone. If that was your mom or someone that you love like that, you're going to be a little puzzled and you're going to speculate.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Bryce.
Tea's here, by the way, Jessica.
What'd you say?
Teapot's here.
All right, Lori, I'm going to drop you for 1 second and put Teapot up just for a second, okay?
I'm not going to be up here if she's up
You
here.
can always drop me whenever you need to, by the way.
Hold on. Is there something with Evo? Do y'all have a problem?
Yeah, I'm not going to be up here if she's up here.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I thought that, again, so my live is about, it is not the summer or the Teapot live. That is not what mine has ever been about. So if she was to come up here, I can tell you right now, the one thing that will not happen is you guys will not argue. I would end the live before that would happen. I've not asked nobody to follow me. I've asked nobody to gift. I have not said one word about this. This TikTok is not even about that. It's about just talking about my friend.
Yeah.
So you're safe up here with me. She will never attack you. No one will attack you. I will not attack you. That's not what we do here.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave, if you don't want that to happen, I respect it. But also just know that like that will never happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I just had nothing to say to her. She's like attacked my character and said I'm things I'm not. So I had nothing to say to her.
Well, before we do exit or you do leave, whatever happens, I just want to say that I did hear that you were sent to go after Summer or flirt with Summer from Pat. So I want to let you know that I did say that, and I have said it. I just asked you a minute ago. So I want you to know that that is something that is being talked about, and I talked to someone directly from that circle that told me that information.
Yeah, that never happened. So Pat doesn't tell me what to do. So.
But as his friend, if he said like, "Hey, have my back, keep an eye on me, like go into these lives, protect me, make sure that you report to me what they're saying, or like get close to them," like I could see, like for example,
I talk to Summer every night on the phone for like 2 hours. You think somebody would do that? Just trying to over TikTok stuff? I wouldn't do that.
You met Pat, was it like a month prior to this all happening? It's not a lot. It was, I wouldn't have done like a full on farce, but yeah.
If they're paid. Well, I'm not paid, so.
Okay, I was just wanted to make sure I communicated that you is not. I never want to talk about someone behind their back, or I never want to say something that is not like fair, or say something in a way where I'm like bashing you or something like that. That never was my content.
Yeah, no, it's
my
cool.
conversation was just to ask, like, you think it's possible that Bryce was sent there for that reason, and I would have asked Summer that, but she's taking a break, which I respect.
Yeah.
Before Bryce drops, I was gonna ask, like, I haven't seen her and she hasn't been on. And you said you are speaking to her, like, regardless of all of the stuff happening, like, I don't wish ill on anybody. And like, is everybody okay?
So she's currently in a coma.
Stop.
No, I'm kidding. No, it feels good.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, I'm going to hop down.
All right. Thank you, Bryce, for coming up. I appreciate your input and your perspective and letting us know that you're going to if you can, please do what we talked about.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that if he can just call his mom and be like, "Hey, I'm okay," we'll all shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Call Mariah.
I think that's like a reasonable thing to ask for too. So.
And then also just, I think it's Josiah and Mason both told me he was going to call me. And
Wait, there's no Josiah.
To call. Was it? Hold on. I'll
Jose?
tell you. I can just go look. Jose, sorry.
Josiah.
Sorry, I don't remember the name. I'm so sorry.
I'm changing.
It's in the text with
I'm
Mason.
changing his name in my phone to Josiah right now.
I apologize. We want proof of life. What do you mean? Yeah, I want proof of life too. And I do think it's crazy that like someone in the outside world, so say that girl don't even know us, doesn't know nothing, and she's calling at wellness check. I do not agree that someone should just call a wellness check out of nowhere. But I will tell you guys too something important. My friend Ashley Ray, again, she comes from the Nick Carter world. If you don't know about Nick or Aaron Carter, sorry, if you don't know about that world, this is so similar, scary similar. He was doxxed every day. They did wellness checks on him every freaking week. People sent things to his house, dead birds, random stuff to his house all the time. He 100% played into it. Never was he a victim. Well, maybe he was a victim sometimes, but sorry, I don't mean to say never was. But like to me, he played into the game of this world that happens. And we watched what tragically happened to him. So I think in the back of my mind, I just want him to just know that he's okay, because I am familiar with that world. And I do ask Ashley a lot of questions. I do ask some of my friends, like, hey, I know you're from the Aaron Carter verse. Like, how did you all handle this? What should I do? And so if you think that one girl is going to call, imagine the hundreds of others are going to start calling for a wellness check if we don't hear from him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it comes to a point, they have a gate, so the cops can't even get past the gate. So.
Well, they said in the video they knocked on the door. So I was like, what does that mean? What happens if Nick uses the phone twice a month? Oh, that was the cell phone. So there's a difference between two different phones, y'all. There's a cell phone and there's a home phone. The home phone is a whole different other situation. I think you have to sign up for it. You have to ask permission to use it, and then you get approved. And then someone is either by you or they're close to you while you're using the phone.
A phone monitor of sorts.
I don't think it's monitored. Mariah, correct me in the chat. It's like I don't think monitor's the right word.
For the house phone, you're saying?
Yeah, it's like Mariah will correct me in the chat, but it's something like monitoring. Or Bryce, you know what they do? What they call that?
No, I don't.
So whenever they get the permission to use the phone, it's called something. It's kind of like, it's kind of being whatever you just said. Observed. That's the right word.
Mm. And somebody said, like, how did Bryce talk to Pat? Then why can't he text him or something along those lines? He might have, like, talked to Bryce briefly or something, but, like, from what he's still on this, like, a client. I don't think he has access to his phone. Like, people are doing his media, like, people are posting for him. But he might have talked. I'm not saying that Bryce hasn't talked to him, but I'm just saying that it's not
and
like he can.
Y'all got to remember too, like, so y'all see him on videos and stuff, but he's not on his phone like he was. So he is still being like detox. Yeah, he's doing a video here and there, but it's not like it was before where you would see him on here 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I respect that. That's important for his safety.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to him.
Yeah, it got a little wild there
say,
for
like,
a little while.
Is that the real
for
summer
me
love? I keep getting all these
personally,
summer loves in my chat.
Sorry.
Is that the real summer?
She's my friend.
That one's got like 8,000 something followers. The one last night is not real.
Her.
Oh my God! Summer's here. Summer, we were just talking about you.
Ears are ringing.
Do you want to come up, Summer? You don't have to, but I know you're on a break.
XO.
Oh, who was just talking? I'm so sorry to interrupt anybody. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say, I never really shared it with Nick except for one time when I had, said like we do recover, but I went through recovery by myself. I didn't go through recovery in any kind of formal setting at all. And it was really hard for me to not get like the mental health help that I needed behind it. And I hit a wall where I couldn't go any further without that help. And that's just like my biggest concern for him, is that he's getting that at the same time as he's getting like the spiritual wellness, the structure, all of that, because I don't know where I would have been without it.
Thank you for sharing with us on that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad that you got help that you needed or wanted.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so
and you know
much.
what
That's the
all
other
of
thing,
this
is like with your family. You don't want to leave your family behind. And I had noticed that there were a lot of people close to me that were triggers of mine, but like
going cold turkey from them as well, like, was more harmful to me than it was good. So just like smaller bursts was what I had to do, and like in a controlled environment. And I don't think that that's too much to ask from someone in recovery, as long as they're up to it. And he's never said that he's anything but up to it.
Except for potentially now. We will hopefully find out.
Summer, you're welcome to come up if you want to. I don't know what the eyes mean. But also, Summer, nobody was ever here bashing you. No one has talked any shady about you, so I don't know what.
But I respect
Okay.
what you said, GenZ. I was just adding
Same.
to it.
Bryce, have you felt like anybody has attacked her or said something bad about her?
No. I mean, no. I
Okay.
just think it's funny that people think I'm a spy.
Well, I don't know if the word spy is the right word. I don't know what the right word is, but basically that you're just sent to basically like protect Pat. So I guess spy, yes.
I can protect him how?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know like what what I was told was that you were sent to basically like protect him when it comes to the lives that were being talked, all the craziness that was being said about him, that you were there to like kind of be friends with them and then be able to report back to him.
Report back
So
to
I
him
guess
what?
whatever could have been said, whatever could be happening, whatever, I don't know. Hello, everyone. But so yeah, that was pretty much all the topics I had. I want to talk about when it comes to Nick is that we just want to hear something and wanted to go over the videos. If y'all did miss it, there was a video where this girl called and had them check on a welfare check with Nick.
Yeah. I mean, and I just want to say if everybody in here could follow me, not your grandma's tea, if you would drop me a follow, that'd be great.
Of course. One thing I don't do here is ever ask for people to follow me or gift me or to, they can just listen.
I think there's a little bit of sarcasm in that.
I
For
was gonna
me?
come in here and say, no, for me.
No.
Oh.
I was gonna come in here and say, okay, I'm not gonna say anything until I get 1,000 coins.
Ew. Have you ever done that before? Is that like your character?
No, I've never done that.
Oh.
All right, well, I'm gonna hop down. Y'all have
All
a good
right,
night,
thank
okay?
you. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Bye, Bryce.
Night.
Is Evil here still? I would love for her to come up because I definitely wanted like I hope she heard what I said about her. I was speaking, very openly and honest.
I'm sure if she didn't heard, she'll get the message.
I'm sure it'll be clipped. I'm sure. Is she here still?
I don't know. T, you here?
But again, just in case you all are wondering, like when it comes to me hosting a live, I'm hosting as a friend. I'm not hosting as like someone to bash people. So my live is never us arguing. We're never going to get into an argument here. We're never going to fight. We're never going to call each other names. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, I keep
don't
my
see her,
lips sealed
Sezz.
in here.
Shit. Evil, I can't see you to send you a request to come up.
She's just in the chat.
Oh, she missed it all.
Well, come up here.
Girl. Did Summer deny the request for box?
Oh no, she said she wants to stay in the chat.
Okay.
But I definitely want to make sure no one ever feels like they're not welcome, especially if we're like if their name is being said in a positive way or a negative way. I want to make sure they always are welcome up because I don't think one thing I noticed about certain groups is that like sometimes a lot of things are said on a phone call or a lot of things are said different ways. It is better just to like speak about things openly in a non-confrontational way where you just like say, hey, this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. This is what I was. To me, that's a better way to handle something than go behind each other or then based on he said, she said. Just own it and say it.
I think she had to come in on her backup because her main's bananaed at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Did somebody come up in the box showing their
That was
things?
insane. That was scary.
What happened?
I was doing
You did
boxes and I was trying to find this video of the girl talking so we could play it, listen to it. So I went to it and played it. And while I was playing it, I guess I clicked something without knowing it. And a person came up and they started showing their chest out of nowhere. So I had to end my live like very abruptly.
their little
Oh,
pepperonis.
no.
They were rubbing their
Hi,
pepperonis.
Nikki.
Oh, wow.
You
What,
missed it.
a man or a woman?
Woman.
A
It
woman.
was
Oh,
definitely a woman.
oh, wow.
So Evil,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going good. I wanted to tell you what I said about you in a
Hi.
positive way. I was just saying that I feel like you being involved, like Mariah, myself, I feel like kind of well, I don't know exactly the contents of what I was saying, but I just was saying that you might not like Nick, you might not like Graceland, or however you feel, that's up to you. But I think when it comes to reporting on facts, I trust that you'll post and you'll say something that's important, especially if something happened to Nick or if something came out that like Nick was no longer at Graceland. Whatever it was that you report, I feel like you're going to do it on facts.
Oh yeah, my personal feelings towards like Nick or anything like that have nothing to do with like anything with facts wise about what's going on with Graceland or even our concern about Nick being there and it not being the right spot for him or anything like that. We're always gonna just have facts, whether it's good or bad stuff. But yeah, my personal feelings towards like Nick has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of like, I think Bryce made like a little joke, like, Sus can kind of like, Sus repeat what would happen so I don't like get it wrong.
Wait, repeat what?
Like, so Bryce made a joke about Evil, and then I said something like, I think that she'd report on facts. I think she would, even though she doesn't like him, I think she would.
Oh, Bryce
Like,
claimed that you doxed Summer, which is an outright lie. So,
Yeah, Summer's in enough trouble as is with everything that she's done behind the scenes. So I can't comment because there's legal stuff in the works. Just my child was messaged a inappropriate picture by someone that they're working on from the States, and the numbers from Arizona. So I just can't comment too much on it. But yeah, Summer's never been doxxed. She's just been up to all the stuff that she's doing behind the scenes.
well, all right, my thing I was saying is that he made a comment, and then I explained that I think that you would report facts no matter what you feel about anyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My personal opinions have nothing to do with like the actual facts of what's going on or even the safety of Nick. Like nobody wants, even personally, if we don't like Nick, nobody wants to see him harmed in any way. Nobody wants to see him, anything bad happen to him, nothing like that. And we were even asking last night, like hopefully anyone that's listening can give some answers as to why he hasn't called anybody and all that. Like it's just not okay, no matter who he is, for no one to hear from or no one to get like any kind of proof that he's okay. Just like hearsay that, oh yeah, he's upstairs isn't good enough at this point.
Yeah, that's what it was said. Sorry, that's what was said.
Oh, yeah.
That Nick, he said that you did not, or Nick did not deserve help, something like that. And then I responded that even if you don't like him, you would report facts, especially with him like not being heard from. And then just to respond to what you just said, like I was making a point that he made a point when he first got there to communicate with Mariah. Like he advocated to get on the phone with her, even if it wasn't technically step work. He wanted to make amends with her, and that could be that he didn't want to be able to call her. He wanted to fix something. It could have been whatever his excuse or reason why he wanted to speak to her. But he called, he made amends, and she was shocked by the phone call. She did not expect him to call that soon. They made amends. They both took accountability, and she started doing really well, and they started talking every day or every other day, and it seemed like things were going okay. And then for to do that work with Mason and other people who work in the house, allowing the phone calls to happen that he had to sign up for and agreeing to them, and then him calling me as well, and then for him to go completely ghost and not talk to no one. It would make more sense if he was gonna go ghost. He would call and say, "Hey, I'm taking a break. I'll call you in a month, or I'll call you in a couple weeks." That to me is what they would do respectfully. Cutting everyone off and not speaking, it seems very suspect. It seems very strange. It seems odd, especially with Nick not having a cell phone. Now he came and use a home phone.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's just really unusual. It only would take like 2 seconds for them to put him on camera. Like yesterday when Xander was on, they could have just shown him on camera because so many people were asking about him. Like, can we see Nick? Is Nick okay? No one's heard from him. And it's just really odd behavior, especially with how much he is bonded to Mariah. It is really weird that he wouldn't reach out to her at all or let her know, like, hey, I'm not going to be able to call you for a bit or let you know or whatnot. That's just the strange part about it.
Yeah, and they said that maybe he feels shameful. So I do agree, he did feel shameful. That's why I think when he called her, first off, we all been watching Nick for a long time. When has Nick really ever took accountability? Do y'all remember a time where he like really took a full accountability
No.
without
No.
manipulating or without trying to get something?
And as much as
I
that's
do
part
not
of
know him.
recovery, I don't think he's there yet. We're 60 days in. He's not. I don't think in like the 10 or 11 days since you guys last spoke to him, he's suddenly had this massive turnaround.
So that's why I think whenever they gave him permission to call her, and then he called his mom as well, as we all seen, like to me, it makes no sense for him to develop and to grow, to build relationships. And then I know for a fact Mariah and I was a part of his safety net, and like for him to keep asking me on a phone call at least 7 times, "Am I okay, Jessica? Do you
Yeah.
really believe I'm safe?" So for him to say that and then to go ghost, it kind of doesn't weigh out.
Mama J, he's really clearly stated that he won't take medication. Mariah has confirmed that he's even said that recently.
Well, he said that he would not take certain medications.
Oh, okay. I thought it was any
Mariah, correct me if I'm
medication.
wrong. No, he said that he already tried certain medications and he was scared of them because one would make him gain weight and he would
Yep.
lose his muscles. So I said to him, try different ones. There's other options. And she said, try different options as well. So I do know for a fact that he was reluctant about certain medicines, and we both stated try other ones. And he was open minded to it as long as it didn't make him lose muscle mass and to gain weight. That was his two biggest concerns. And that's a typical person. Like that's an addict type behavior to not think about like, getting better and being, at his best. He's
Puts
thinking
a
about
huge emphasis on the way he looks. That's a huge part of
yes.
who he is, and that's important to him. But mental health is a holistic approach, so it's not just therapy, it's not just medication, and some people choose not to take medication, but he can still get psychological help without taking medication. I'm not his doctor, I'm not his psychologist, so that's for him to discuss with a therapist. But he can still seek therapy, even just with a counselor or a social worker. It doesn't have to be an actual psychologist.
And we still have confirmation that he still has glasses. The last phone call that he had with Mariah, he said that they were arriving tomorrow. So we don't even have it if he has that. And then he had to write words and he had to like do all that stuff. If you watch when he's live, he's like straining, trying to read the words. So like, can we get him some fucking glasses? Like Mariah offered to pay for them at that point.
And getting that during he needs more than what he's getting, and no one has confirmed that he's getting anything. He hasn't confirmed that he's getting therapy else, and he hasn't.
Well, we don't even know that he's at the IOP, actually. I don't think it's been confirmed that he's attending IOP.
I don't think so either. Mariah, have you confirmed that?
And also, they're
I
not
almost-
mental health professionals. It's different. Dual treatment and dual diagnosis are different.
She said, I don't think so. Okay.
And now, Xander did say yesterday on the live that Nick had spoken to his mom 3 days ago. Does Mariah know if that's confirmed or no? Because that was Xander's response is Nick spoke to his mom 3 days ago.
We can confirm that. Mariah could figure that out. And Mariah, he did speak to someone. She said the name to me on the phone. I can't remember the name. She said she spoke to someone. It was for a reason. He only spoke to Ian. Yeah, that's who. He did not speak to his mom. That's who he spoke to.
The Australian guy.
That's what it was.
So he has spoken.
He spoke to somebody 3 days ago?
I don't think it was 3 days ago. Hold on. Mariah, will you confirm what day that was? Or, like, did he speak to him on the phone? He heard his voice? I don't know how much she can elaborate. And then also, I think we kind of think that maybe Mariah should, like, possibly, like, maybe not speak so, what's the right word? Maybe, like, they're not wanting her to talk to him. Maybe they're not wanting them to communicate. So it could be a part of his recovery is to, like, take a break from her. But why would they also let him try to fix it with her and then allow him to call so many times? So that's kind of the question mark. There's a lot of question marks. And it's also calls in Mariah a lot of stress. Like, I'm actually concerned for her because she was doing so well and now she's so, like, knocked 20 steps back. It's fucked up.
Ghost Killer, I believe that's a very old video of a different Nick. That's not Nick Harris.
Yeah, I would hope he does reach out to Mariah or you or somebody soon, just so you guys have that peace of mind, like, just all together. And I know it's probably definitely hard for Mariah just not knowing anything that's going on or if he's okay.
Don't stress Mariah.
We agree that we think that's true. He has no access to, like, a he gets his phone on the 1st and 15th, but they're saying that he gave up his rights. He surrendered his rights to his cell phone. But we're talking about the actual home phone. Like, since he's been at Graceland, he's never called me from a cell phone. He called me from the landline, and that's where he calls Mariah from as well.
Why don't we email him? Well, one, I would never contact him personally. I don't know him personally, so I'd never do that.
So Mariah can confirm that question whenever she gets a second. She's at work. But I know that I don't think the mom was talked to. I think we would know if the mom was talked to. I think, like, Mariah would have heard that.
And that's what I thought too when he said that. I'm like, Mariah would for sure have heard that already, besides Xander just saying it. But it even looked really scripted yesterday when they had Zach come in with the, hey, did Nick leave the bathroom door unlocked again? And was it him? And, oh, by the way, Nick's doing really well. It just seemed really scripted without putting Nick on camera.
It was
Now, I will say that my last phone call with him, and I can quote it as almost exact. I said, do not give them any content. If you are uncomfortable or if you feel that they're pissing you off or they're attacking you or they're doing something shady to you, like, the reason why they have you there is for content. And I know that he got rewarded for giving content. So if for example, like the cooking video that day, he was giving us content. People were subscribing, watching, making fun, laughing, whatever it was, it's content. So he gets rewarded for content. And then also when he doesn't give content, they freak the fuck out. So the fact that they're saying that he's not going to give any content, that tells me something might be not okay too.
So do you think that they're punishing or withdrawing access to the phone from him because he's refusing to film, possibly? Could he be the one saying no to the camera at this point? I doubt it, but you've had one-on-one conversations with him.
I think his only weapon, his only power in that house is to give content. If he doesn't give them content, they have no use for him. And then, not that YEZ is the most reliable source, but he did make a video last week saying that he talked to Pat directly and said, you can come here once Nick's gone. Nick's currently making us a lot of money.
Look, I don't know much about the YEZ verse, all right? I've never watched him, but
Did you
I
see
don't
the
know if I
video?
believe him. But I've never watched him, so I don't know.
I don't, like I said, I don't know if I believe him either. So
Yeah.
I'm vouching that I think he could have been trolling for views, possibly whatever it was. But I do know that that was what he said. I can play the video if you all want me to. I agree. I don't know if it's factual. Again,
Yeah.
it's just something that was on the internet that if we're doing a if we're doing like a timeline, then that has to be a question mark on the side.
Oh, look, it's not even that wild to hear. It's just I don't know YEZ and whether it's
Same.
true. Yeah.
But like Pat said before, right? He's even stated Nick is his unicorn. Nick is his special money maker. That's like Pat had no intentions from the beginning on giving a shit about Nick or what Nick was on or to get him any kind of. Pat just saw dollar signs. He's seen how crazy the lives went with him talking to Nick and getting him there. And he knew what he would make if he got Nick there. It had nothing to do with actually caring about Nick at all. It never did. It's a moneymaker for him.
Anderson as well. I believe that Nick actually hit his 60 days a few days ago. They did say it on the live that it's 60 or 61 days. Was it the 20? Was it yesterday that he hit 60 days?
Also,
Yeah.
he did not get his cell phone back on the 1st or the 15th. If I'm not mistaken, Mariah can correct that too. But there was no cell phone in his hand the 1st or the 15th. And then also, did you see a video where Pat was talking about his wife being his cash cow or using some kind of words? Have you all seen that video where he's talking about his wife? And it's like from 2003, 23 or 24. It's an older video, and he's like, if someone's my it was something to do with like her. I guess she was still smoking, and they're supposed to be sober, and she was California sober or something like that. And he uses the word something about no, she's my. Matter of fact, this place is not my cash out. My cash out is cash. Whatever word he used, he said it was Veronica. There's a video of him saying that.
Veronica's
So a lot of
never
times-
been sober though, so she's never been in. As far as I know, she's never like had an issue as such. So she's never been through like recovery. She's always done her own.
Yeah, there's a
thing.
video of them too where he's saying that they were getting passed for something, but she failed because she had something.
Oh.
I do a lot of research. I go back to like 2022, 2020. During COVID, they were posting all the time. So I listen to his wording. I listen to how he says things. And then I think about how he speaks about Nick now. And I put together, to me, someone's personality doesn't really change. And their character flaws will be seen if you just put together little puzzle pieces. So that was part of my thing. Like when I went back and watched the video of him about Graceland and how Graceland should be a Netflix series. That's old as hell. It was the house was being built.
Yep.
Yeah, pattern behavior.
And also too, it like you have to think of the theory too. Is Nick not on there because since Pat's been back, maybe is it possible that he's been pulling Nick aside and coming up with this big drop, like this big plan that he has with him and Nick and how to drop it and make the most money, but he has Nick convinced it's for the best to stay off of everything so they can do a big drop of here's our new series with Nick and his recovery. And so Pat's convinced him to stay off of everything now for that build-up.
Well, and
Yeah, that's
also
what I
at
said
the
last time we were
moment,
live.
Americans can't. I don't know if it's still an issue, but there's this huge issue that Americans can't subscribe because it's not in the App Store.
You cannot,
Right?
yeah. Touch my name now and try. You can't.
And we know, I really think if Nick's going to make an appearance, it's going to be sub only. Of course, it's going to be sub only. So they can't do that if they can't get their subs back up. Because they were at almost, I think, 2,500 subs, and I think it's down around 700.
Wow, that was a big puzzle piece you just put together for me in my brain.
Yeah.
But I
You
don't
can
think that they
sub?
were talking about that being fixed in the coming like weeks or anything. That would mean he'd have to be offline for the next 2 more months until there's a deal made with the president. Unless I don't know when the subscribers on
They said 722.
situations, but oh, they said never. Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying when that was
No,
going
you're
to be
good.
fixed about like the subscriber TikTok? Because this was only a temporary fix for TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Like
I think it's a 90-day extension or something.
Yeah.
Next time we get an appearance with a hospital jury, I hope not. Don't say that. I want it to be. I want him to come back and be. And even if like what Summer said, season 2 is coming. Like if that's true and this is a build up to that, cool. But I think it's kind of fucked up, shady. Like.
But here's my thing: if we were throwing around some ideas a couple of nights ago, if he was taken on a 5150, is that what you guys call it?
5150.
5150, that one, right? Wouldn't they contact his next of kin? And his next of kin, I assume, and I don't know, is Mariah or his mum.
Not all the time, no. They don't have to contact unless
they
he's like.
don't?
No, not.
And
it's
I
not
think he
mandatory.
signed his rights over to live there. So he signed something when he got there. Do you know what that was? Did he sign that they would be the one that have to do that?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I don't know what he
He would
signed.
have to contact the legal next of kin, which would be his mom, unless him and Mariah were married. Would
They
be
were
if he was underage, and he's of age. So I don't think they have to contact anybody unless he says, "Hey, contact this person," or "This person is on my list."
Yeah, 100%.
So Ashley Ray, again, if you don't know, she comes from the Aaron Carter world. So she's been through everything we already went through. Like she literally played it all out, and then Aaron Carter, as you know, was found or whatever happened, and it ended. And it's still not ended because we're all still speculating about that. But that story, like she went through almost everything we're going through is very similar. 2 different people, 2 different journeys, but very similar situations that are very strange.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Aaron Carter. I grew up. That was a sad. Just a sad downfall. That it was horrible. Just such a sad situation, and such a talented person, and just really sad situation all around.
Having to watch him downfall like that and spiral was hard because if you tried to say anything to him, he would get mad and block you, and then he would unblock you. And he actually had 2 welfare. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The snap.
I remember that. Oh my god.
Always a snap. But he actually had 2 welfare checks that night, and allegedly the first one,
They didn't see him.
well, the first one they said they didn't see him. They heard him say go away. The second one, apparently the maid wouldn't let them in, or she just shut the door on him and said he's fine. So there's definitely something strange about it. The welfare checks don't mean shit these days. Let me tell you that. I've had them done on me when I was asleep. I've had people swat me while I was asleep, saying that I was doing things that I actually wasn't doing. So, they don't really. They're just going out there because they have to. I don't think that they really do all that they need to do. Because had they done everything they needed to do, had they forced themselves in the house and said, hey, we need to see Aaron, we need to actually see that he's physically okay, he could still be here.
Yep. And sometimes too, when they get so many welfare checks to do on people, like when the cops get to know you, like, oh, it's them, or it's just probably the internet, they'll just go out and they just become willy-nilly with it, like, oh, if they don't answer whatever, it was probably internet trolls calling, and they just don't take it serious. Then
they don't. And there was a lot of times where they were called where Aaron did answer the door, and he would allow them in the house. And that night,
there's videos of that.
Yeah, there's so many videos of him saying, hey, come on in, guys, check everything out, I'm good. And then that night, all of a sudden, they just hear him allegedly. I don't know, but I hope that's not
the house was the weirdest part.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you said?
The lady that lived in the house has like made.
Yeah, the she wouldn't let anybody in, and it's kind of weird that it's a similar situation with this Graceland thing. Not saying that anything has happened to Nick, but I do see a lot of similarities. I don't know much about the whole Nick thing other than obviously, I watched Jessica. Jessica's one of my good friends. Actually, she's probably like one of the best friends I've ever had. That's the only reason why I know about the whole Nick stuff, and obviously hearing you guys speak. But there are a lot of similarities. Granted, he's in a sober living. He's not at home, doing things that he shouldn't be doing. But I would want to physically, I wouldn't listen. And this is like for everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel. Don't listen to hearsay. It's all hearsay. Don't, unless
all
you
we have
actually
is
hear it
hearsay
from
right
Nick's.
now.
Yeah, but that's all we have. But we can't speculate on that unless you actually hear it from Nick, which is the scary thing, is because no one's actually hearing from Nick.
And I agree. And
It's kind
Nick
of hard
and Aaron
not to
are very
speculate.
similar.
Go ahead. Sorry, you apologies.
Oh, sorry. I just meant, yeah, Nick and Aaron, like if you were someone that watched both of them, Nick and Aaron are extremely similar, very similar types of personality. Bryce, don't give me. But yeah, that's Nick and Aaron.
Stay positive, evil. Like
I am.
I know who you are, and I respect your power, and I respect everything about you. I praise you for what your abilities. But like, if like Bryce or anyone you don't like gives you like, just blow it off.
Oh yeah,
like,
I would never start drama in your lives, Jessica. I
You
would
know,
never.
he might do that just to get a reaction from you. So like, don't
100%.
give him the reaction.
Oh, I know.
But I'm not trying to take
ever
your
have to
power
worry.
away or silence you or something like that. It's more, I just don't want anyone to ever come here and feel that like what we're going to do is argue. I don't want what has happened in Summer's life and what's happened with your guys is like clash with you guys. I don't want that to ever feel that way here. I want Mariah to come here, come into a box and talk and feel safe. I want you to come here and feel safe. I don't want anyone to ever feel that way. And with America being against the Donald Trump situation with like trans people, I cannot be in a situation where like I'm allowing certain behaviors where we're attacking each other. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that I conduct myself in the best way.
Always, Jessica. Always.
You do, yeah, absolutely.
You do. You always do. But going
Yeah,
back
no
to like
matter
the
who,
hearsay stuff,
even if
like one of my friends is a pretty big celebrity. If I believed everything that I saw in the media about her, like there would be a lot of issues between the two of us. I can see one thing in the media and then talk to her 5 minutes later, and it's completely opposite of what the media is saying. So yes, all we have is speculation right now with the Nick thing, but you can't always believe that speculation or the hearsay.
I think I know who you're talking about too, because I've seen you in their lives.
Yeah, I believe so too.
She's very good friends with Taryn, and so am I.
Yeah.
Like such a good person, crazy as
Yeah.
fuck, but we absolutely love her, adore her.
She's a hoot.
Yeah.
I love her.
Here.
But see, and that's the thing. Like what is portrayed online, whether it's with her or the media, is completely different than the girl that I see and the girl that I talk to. You know, it's completely different. So that's why I have never been a believer of what I see in the media about her. Nothing. Unless I hear it directly from her, I'm not going to believe it. And I've been with her. I've I speak with her every day. I've been live with her. I've been in her home. I stayed with her like almost 2 weeks, possibly moving there. So I'm not going to just uproot my life if I'm thinking like if I'm believing everything that I'm seeing in the media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the thing about Aaron Carter and Taryn, so they're celebrities. So they get millions of viewers, and it's a whole different world. Then there's like Nick, who is like known for being really, really bad, also loved by some, but he's now in this. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to make sure I use the right words. And then then now he's in a fucking sober living house, and now he's went from being like talking to me, talking to Mariah. Now he's completely gone. We don't have the power of a celebrity. We are literally stuck with having to watch these streamers who sometimes don't make any sense, or they backtrack, or they add something that doesn't make any sense based on what someone else said, what Nick said before. So like all we have is what Nick has said to us, then what they're reporting, and it doesn't match.
Yeah.
That's kind of
And I
like the
know there was-
tabloids versus the like publishers. Like for an agent of a client, like in a celebrity, right? Like TMZ versus a publicist like statement. It's like that's where if they're not saying anything, that's where you get that info. Or maybe I'm like not catching the drift.
And I agree with the whole like bullying Nick. I get it. But Nick did do things that kind of deserved some of the treatment that comes his way. He knows that. I know that. Mariah knows that. But I do think more there's a lady that comes to my life. Her name is Cindy. She is literally in the ICU right now. She texted me today. She is fighting for her life in every single way. She's been following Nick for many years. Her son passed from addiction. She might be in my life right now. And she watches Nick because it reminds her so much of her son, and it's her only way to like really feel. And when she came out box today, the one thing she said is that she prays that Nick gets better, and she wants to see him do very well, and she's praying for Mariah. So I do know there is people out there that are rooting for him, and it could be because he is troubled, and we're hoping that it gets better. It could be different people, different solutions, different situations, and so not everybody has to get along, not everybody has to like him, but if we're all just rooting for him to just know that he's alive, that's important. So
Well, yeah, and you're never going to hear, and that's what I mean. We've never sat in lives and said, Nick doesn't deserve to get help whatsoever. Like, everybody deserves a fair chance at trying to get help, you know, for everything that's going on with them, and mostly to get help so that they don't continue to like kind of bleed on others and hurt others in their lives or in any aspect, right? That's the important thing, is that everyone deserves that. So it's not just for them, it's for others too, so that they can be more productive and not bleed on others that are around them, type thing.
true. And I respect that you're talking to me and like you know that how I feel. I know that we have a different opinion in some ways, but I love that we can come together and have a conversation. And I feel like you always have given me that. All of you guys have given me that respect of like disagreeing, but still being able to communicate and be friends, and still being able to, have the same purpose as far as like a great conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we like support you too, is that we definitely see that, you know, and just even from watching your lives, like we've all agreed that, like the people that I'm closest with, we've agreed that you do have like a genuinely good heart. You're in this for the right reasons. You're not in this to get the clout. You're not in this for the money or subs or whatever off of Nick. Like you're actually concerned. You actually do have a good heart when it comes to, you're just concerned for a friend.
Yeah.
Truth. And I respect that you guys haven't like turned on me or haven't judged me or haven't came at me in a negative way. And I understand that everybody is, suspected, and you have to kind of get to know someone before you can really decide how you feel. But I feel like what you guys, Summer, all of you all, Britt, so many of you guys have all been super respectful, and I'm always shocked, but always super pleasantly surprised by somehow you guys have treated me and others. And I see the toxic side. I see you all fight. I see that part.
But like as adults, you can agree to disagree, and I think what we really have enjoyed on here is having discussions and learning things from other people and talking things through and giving our point of view and them giving their point of view. That's what having a grown-up conversation is about. You can have a difference of opinion. It doesn't mean you have to hate on each other.
I respect that.
But so that was my topic of Nick that I wanted to just bring up, and I want to play that video for everybody and kind of like this discuss that girl. Like Evil, have you ever seen this girl before?
Which video was it?
The girl talking about she did she called to get
welfare check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, because I sent that actually in our chat today because I was like, who's this girl here? Because people in her comments were saying, oh no, Nick's been kicked out of detox, and we say Nick's been kicked out of GL, and we seen a video of him. So I even went in her comments and said, no, you guys are talking about a different video. Like that's not the Nick they're talking about. But nobody's heard. But I have never seen that girl in any chats under that account, as far as I know.
Yeah, I've never seen this person before a day of my life, and I've been watching, studying, listening. We're all kind of mind blown by it. So I played all the videos of her, and we kind of just talked about it. So I would love for Evil Teapot to do some of her detective work and see what the hell that's about.
Well, evil. I feel bad saying even. Well, evil. Like I don't mean to
It's
address
okay.
you that way.
It's
Um,
okay.
but later, or I was telling her that I scrolled down on the videos, and she's posted about Pat like 4 years ago. So she's like from that side, clearly, and it looks like. So I don't know like what kind of like what y'all how y'all do what y'all do or what y'all do, but she for whatever Jess was asking her to get
Yeah,
looked
I
at or
think they were
whatever, it
saying
does
that.
look like it leaned on from that
So
end
this
of
is her account, you guys. You can see it.
the TikTok world.
You can screenshot it if you want to, or whatever you want to do. That's her name. But if you go down, like, and that's why I want to make sure I talk to Evil. And by the way, so as streamers that battle and do go around and like network like this, so what we do is we call each other based on what we see. So like your name could be fucking Elizabeth, but all we see is whatever. We're gonna say what we see so that our chat knows who we're talking to. So when I refer to Evil Teapot as Evil, I'm only responding to what we can see. So I could say Evil T, but you all think I know when I'm speaking about evil, you know who I'm talking to. And I'm not referring to you as evil in any kind of way. I think you're
No,
actually
I know.
genius.
Oh, I hope you didn't think that was like a low dig to
No,
you,
it's
Jess, or to
no.
No, I was making sure
anybody.
she knew that. Like
Okay.
I wanted people to know,
Good.
chat to know how we speak and how like I will say Ashley. I would say her name Ash. I just read the names. But
Okay.
yeah, if you did some
Okay. Oh
detective work
no.
and went and looked to see if you can find anything else, that'd be awesome. Oh, there is a video, 2021.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm not that smart, but
And then steak right afterwards. But
the eyelashes.
it's kind of like when you
Oh, that's my filter. Sorry.
you know what I mean? Because we call that a speedball.
What the fuck is this video even about? Anyway, so I'm sure Eva will let us know tomorrow. So make sure y'all check into her account so she could tell you if we find anything else with this girl. Because it could be, again, they're saying that Bryce was sent from Pat, so this girl could be sent from Pat as well to confuse us.
And
Oh gosh.
it could be someone just trying to jump on the clout train too, right? Of like, here's a post
True.
about Nick Harris, and
Mm-hmm.
and she knows it's going to get the views if she's like, oh, I'm calling a welfare check on him, and everyone's going to go to her account and be like, how'd the welfare check go? Did anything happen?
Well, and with the radio silence, everyone's hanging on and looking
By a
for
thread.
the Nick content, you know?
So I did hear people keep asking about Mason. So I was gonna say I talked to Mason on the phone. We had like I could show you a screenshot of how long the phone call was, everything like that. Like I know some other details that he shared with me that I had not said on TikTok, but I know that he cannot talk to the patients or the people, not patients, sorry, the residents at Graceland. So he could not call Nick or go see Nick or talk to Nick for me. He had to call the other guy to even get communication to him about the girl Cindy in my chat. So, but he told me, he did say to me that he comes back soon. So,
Okay.
that's kind of the only bit I have about Mason. Yes. But he's working for the other house. What's the other house called?
The grad house?
Yeah, that's where he works now.
I haven't spoken to him.
Yeah, and what was weird was yesterday in the chat there was whoever somebody had put where's Mason, and then a few people had replied. I thought it was one of the mods. I'd have to look back, but they said Mason doesn't live at the grad house anymore. He's with another sober living facility and moved out of the grad house. So I don't know how true that was, but they were saying it in the live and they let it happen in the comments. They let those people talk about it.
If I could show you the screenshot of my text, I could prove that. I could do, unless Mason's lying to me, which I don't think Mason would lie to me based on. So let's put this into perspective. Nick asked me to take care of Mason, to get to know him, and to get close to him. With that being said, if you all watched, I was live with Mason almost every single night on his personal account and other accounts, introducing him to every person I know, celebrity, big streamers, everyone. And I made sure that he got to network and meet a lot of really cool people for Nick.
Yep.
Someone's making a noise. Like I think it's Claire that's making the sound. No. I just make sure I didn't know what sound was. So I did that for Nick. I got to know Mason and I actually started to like Mason. And as you all heard us have that conversation one night where I was like, look at me, stop reading the chat. Like I was that close to him that I could speak to him in that kind of tone. So I don't know. I just think that I don't think he would lie to me based on the fact that say for example, he's no longer working for Graceland at all. He's not talking to Pat ever again. That's a drop topic. He got fired. To say that's an example. He needs me to keep growing because in the conversation he was talking about still wanting to be a streamer. So I don't think that he would have intentions of lying to me based on what he needs from me.
Yep. Yeah, and if he said that to you, then I'll take that as way more truth than obviously comments, anyways, because people can just be saying whatever. So yeah, if he's saying that to you, then I'm gonna take that as more truth than what people are over there saying in their chat.
And I put my hand on the Bible. That's exactly what was said to me. So I know that he still works. He's still associated with Graceland. He not the resident house, but I know he's still involved in that network building, whatever that place is called. You all said before. No, Mason did not I did not say he got fired. I think that he no longer is with the residents. He's now in the other place, the other house, and he is associated and doing something with them. I don't know the exact words. He didn't say a word. Like he didn't say I'm just working in the media house and I'm no longer with the residents. It wasn't like a word that he used. It was more like he was explaining to me that he's working at the house, but what is the fucking house called again?
Graceland.
What's the other place called?
Just the grad house.
Grad house.
Grad, GRAD, graduate.
Okay.
Graduate, if that just
okay.
People that have
grad
already
house.
gone through. If that
that's where he's still at. That's what he told me he's still working at. I have a text from him with that exact that he's there. So he did not get fired. But I do think something happened where he was no longer working at Graceland, but he's still at the grad house.
Mm-hmm.
He could also be living there. I mean, the house itself isn't necessarily.
I'm not living.
Huh?
I don't think. Does he live there?
Yeah, they do. The grads live at the grad house. It's a separate house to Graceland.
Yeah, so that might be what he's referencing.
So Blue moved into the grad house today from the sober house.
Okay. I never heard the word I live here. So I didn't know if that was what they did. I thought they just went there to film or something like that.
They have a studio in the front where they do filming, and that's where they did this Sermon on the Mount Friday streaming that everyone was like, this is so boring, not watching thing that he used to do. That's the house where Madison lives and where they had the tea party and where that content where you saw that was at the graduate house. If that and where they did the food prepping, that was at the graduate house for when Nick was prepping the rice and chicken and all of that. That was at the graduate house. If that helps you at all.
Oh, I didn't know it was the graduate house that he was cooking in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought the house was like a mansion, so when I watched the videos or watched the live, I just assumed that they were in this huge fucking gigantic house with all these different rooms and yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I just happened to know from them speaking on it, back around October, when they were doing Halloween decorations, they showed off the decorations of the houses.
But okay, I guess I want to wrap up.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm going to jump down. But thanks for having me
But
up, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
no, it means a lot to me. You guys are talking to me, and that you all come in and
Always.
help me figure this out. And then also, Mariah literally is sitting in a situation where she is really trying to, do good and get better and to get an apartment and to do things like that. So like, hearing from Nick really would bring her so much peace, which is why I also am advocating, because she just got in a really good place. You all heard her on my live talking about how like proud of herself she is and how hard she's working her butt off. And then now we have a stump in a moment where we're like, what do we do? How does she feel? How do you not be worried about him? How do you not fear something the worst? Of course, we all hope for the best, but that's kind of like my other push to like be like, okay, just let us see him for a second, have him call her, just vouch that things are cool, and then we'll drop it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, and I'll let you know if I find out if that girl has anything, if she actually did call it a wellness check or has anything to do with anyone. I'll let you know for sure.
Okay. I love you guys. Thank you for coming up
Good
here.
night,
again.
Jessica. Have a great night.
Please go to Teapot's live and see her tomorrow. She'll give you all a report on like what's happening, and yeah. So best of luck to y'all, and I can't wait to hear from you and find out what you find out.
Thanks.
I
Good
pop
night.
in. Don't attack me if I come in to hear your update.
We won't. We won't.
Are you guys friends with Claire? Or are y'all not friends with Claire?
I have no problem with Claire. I
don't usually speak, or I don't usually get in boxes or anything like that. But
okay.
It's all
All right. I love you guys.
Good night.
Good night.
You.
Thank you all for tuning in for a world exclusive with Evil Teapot. Just checking. Hi, everybody. So, welcome in, friends. Thank you all for being here. To those who are here because of Nick, thank you for coming in and letting us talk and speculate and throw around some ideas and express our feelings and our heart. So, and again, major shout out to Mariah. Mass love to her. Hi, Dusty.
Tiny.